Will you please state on the record that you are aware that this interview will be posted on YouTube and copied to the discussion board and Canvas?
Yes.
Will you tell me a little about yourself?
My name's Lisa. I'm 44 years old. I have a son that's 22, a daughter that's 19. I've been a single parent to my kids most of their lives, and I am a recovering drug addict.
How would you define an addiction?
To me, an addiction is anything that overcomes your mind and your body and that you just can't function normally without it.
What made you start using drugs for the first time?
I was probably 14, and a friend of mine had an older brother who smoked marijuana, and we just thought it would be cool for us to do it too, and it just became a normal thing.
At what point did you realize you had become addicted to drugs?
Throughout the different drugs that I had tried and was using, um, I only realized that I was a drug addict once I caught felony charges and went to prison.
How did drugs affect you?
In the beginning, just using marijuana, my grades in school dropped and stuff. I didn't have a very good relationship with my family at home. And one thing leads to another, drug wise, and then, you go from marijuana to using pills, and from that to, trying other harder things, which led to me using meth.
What caused you to overcome your addiction?
Um, I overcome my addiction being in prison after I realized that I was an addict because, like I said, I was, a single parent of my kids, and I knew that I was all that they had, so without me, they didn't have anything. So that gave me the mind power to put my past behind me and to make a better life for me and my kids and be a better mother.
Would you say that that event changed you or not?
It did. It did change me. Once I was in prison, I worked the whole time that I was in there. Um, I took college classes, business technology, and got out of prison. Within 2 months, got my first job, and I'm plant manager at the place that I work at now.
Was it hard giving up drugs?
No, I guess I always thought it would be while I was using. I couldn't give it up, but the love for my kids and wanting to do better for them, overcome the want and the need to do drugs.
Is that how you coped with it?
Um, yeah, coping was calling home on the weekends and stuff, talking to my kids, and knowing that that they needed their mother, and I couldn't be there, so there's no way that I would ever go back to using.
Is there any advice you have for those who are having trouble overcoming their addiction?
In order to overcome your addiction, even like in NA classes, they teach you to find a higher power to overcome whatever whether it's alcoholism or gambling or whatever. And the higher power that I come up with, like I said, was my kids. But when I got out, you have to take yourself out of the situation that you was in, the friends, the places you would go to, and anywhere that that would where the drugs would be. You have to take yourself away from that stuff in order to stay clean. And I've been clean almost 10 years now.
Have you ever came into a situation where you had the opportunity to do drugs since you've been out of prison?
Twice I did, and but the want or need to do it was not there, which I was kind of surprised. But like I said, you just have to take yourself away from that environment and the people.
Well, I thank you for doing this interview with me.
Thank you.
Have a nice day. Will you please state on the record that you are aware that this video will be posted on YouTube and copied in the discussion board on Canvas?
Yes.
Will you please tell me a little about yourself?
My name is Cynthia. I have 2 kids and 2 grandkids, and my daughter is a recovering drug addict.
Why do you think she started doing drugs?
Being around people that did it.
When you say that some of the people influenced her to do it?
Yeah.
When you first found out your daughter was doing drugs, when was that?
When I got up to go to work one morning and my yard was full of cops.
Was she living with you at the time?
No, she lived in the trailer next door to me.
How did you feel about her doing drugs?
Well, when I found out about it, I was heartbroken because she had 2 kids. And I knew somebody had to take care of them.
Did you try to convince her or force her to stop?
Well, you think off and on that there's something not quite right, even though I didn't know and couldn't prove that she was doing drugs. But there was just certain things that just didn't add up, and when I talked to her about it, she would deny it. So I didn't know and couldn't prove that she was doing drugs at the time.
How did it affect you?
Well, heartbroken, and knowing that when she did go to jail, somebody had to take care of the kids, and it was going to be me and their grandfather. And I had to be a grandma and a mama to them.
How did doing drugs affect your daughter mentally and socially?
Well, mentally, she just didn't act like the old Lisa. And socially, she was just hanging out with certain people.
What problems did it cause with the family?
Well, we just never had really family get-togethers anymore. She always had other things to do instead of stuff with the family.
How would you describe her when she had a drug addiction?
Well, she just didn't act like the old Lisa.
How did she act differently?
She just didn't hang with the family. She always had other things to do, other places to go, other people to see.
Did she treat you any different?
I didn't get to see her that much. She always hung out with her other friends instead of the family.
How did her going to prison affect the family?
Well, I had to take over and be grandma and mama to them, and being mama to them was hard because sometimes you have to make decisions that they don't like. You have to tell them no when grandma would probably say yeah.
Since she has been clean, what differences have you noticed in her everyday life?
Well, she wants to do family things. She works. She socializes more with other people. She goes to work every day. She goes to school functions with the kids. And it's just better all around.